Hi guys, it's Mishel with Deception Bytes, and we are picking up from where we left off last night. I was hoping to have uploaded another one last night. I did upload two yesterday, but the subject matter here got really heavy. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of complex stuff in this section that I'm doing, so I just couldn't get to it yesterday, and it took me a good while today, well actually most of today, to research all this stuff and look into it. So anyway, I'm going to pick up here and I'm going to pick up where we left off and get into this. I want to wish you all a happy new year. It is New Year's Eve, and I am not going out tonight because it's supposed to be the coldest night on record here ever, and it's unbelievable. The weather here is unreal. It doesn't matter how many layers you put on, you're cold, and no one's cars will start because it gets so cold it zaps the battery. So, and if you call someone to come and tow you or whatever, or jumpstart you, then they told me that it would be up to 48 hours to get someone. So, I mean, that's just unbelievable. So, I have no desire to go out on a night like tonight at all, and so I'm staying in. Anyway, let's get at this. Oh, I know, something that I wanted to bring up. I was on a forum earlier this evening, and I saw somebody post that CNN had reported. It was kind of like, okay, you know, on 9/11 when they reported that Building 7 had fallen, but it was still standing. Well, it was kind of like a situation like that, where they were announcing that they were looking for the floor that the shooter was from or something, and nothing had happened. Nothing's happened there yet. So very odd. So if you hear of something happening tonight in Times Square, a shooting, then I guess we'll know that it's been planned. So just thought that was very interesting. So they took it off the air right away, and I haven't seen anywhere on YouTube or whatever that anyone captured it, but I'm sure somebody will have it. You know, some people record the news and watch it later. So anyway, so let's continue on here. November 23rd, Q asks, who is Betsy D? Well, Betsy D is Betsy DeVos, and this should be a capital. And she is the United States Secretary of Education. But I think this is what Q is getting at. She is the sister of Eric Prince. Do you know who Eric Prince is? Eric Prince is the head of Blackwater, and Blackwater is basically a private mercenary army. That's what they are. It's what they do. So, yeah. Now, why is she relevant? Well, I don't know why she's relevant other than she has access to the president. I don't know. And then Q says, expand your thinking. Q. Now, here we have, now this is posted by one of the users on 4chan, anonymous, and they are posting this to Q, directed at Q. They put Betsy DeVos to Eric Prince to POTUS. Then they have linked to this article that shows that the notorious mercenary Eric Prince is advising Trump from the shadows. So let's go out there and take a look at that. I know I have read this previously and wasn't too pleased about this. Not a fan of Blackwater. But here's the other thought on that. Later, we'll get to that later, but Q says, who knows where the bodies are buried? Well, wouldn't the person that put them there know where they are? Maybe Eric Prince is working with Trump to tell him what has happened and what has gone on. But I don't know. Maybe he's doing it to save his own skin because, well, they've done some pretty awful things. Anyway, Eric Prince, America's most notorious mercenary, is lurking in the shadows of the incoming Trump administration. A former senior U.S. official who has advised the Trump transition told The Intercept that Prince has been advising the team on matters related to intelligence and defense, including weighing in on candidates for the Defense and State Departments. The official asked not to be identified because of a transition policy prohibiting discussion of confidential deliberations, and which we can understand. But I don't understand, and the thing is, this may be written, from a biased point of view, obviously, but I guess I'm not understanding why Eric Prince, would be advising the Trump team on matters related to intelligence and defense and suggesting candidates for defense and state departments. I don't know. Can't imagine that, but it may not be how it seems because, well, we all know how the mainstream media is, and we know what they do and how they do it. So on election night, Prince's latest wife, Stacey DeLuke, posted pictures from inside Trump's campaign headquarters as Donald Trump and Mike Pence watched the returns come in, including a close shot of Pence and Trump with their families. We know some people who work closely with Trump on his campaign, DeLuke wrote. Waiting for the numbers to come in last night, it was well worth the wait. President Trump 2016. Prince's sister, billionaire Betty DeVos, is Trump's nominee for education secretary, and Prince and his mother gave large sums to the Trump super PAC. In July, Prince told Trump's senior advisor and white supremacist Steve Bannon, at the time head of Breitbart News, that the Trump administration should recreate a version of the Phoenix program. Oh my gosh. I hadn't read that previously. Do you know what the Phoenix program was? Wow. I'm not going to get into it here because I'm going to get way off topic, but research the Phoenix program and you tell me if that's what we need. I just don't understand. Anyway, should create a version of the Phoenix program, the CIA assassination ring that operated during the Vietnam War to fight ISIS. Such a program, Prince said, could kill or capture the funders of Islamic terror, and that would even be the wealthy radical Islamist billionaires funding it from the Middle East and any of the other illicit activities therein. Prince also said that Trump would be the best force to confront Islamic fascism. As for the world looking to the United States for leadership, unfortunately, I think they're going to have to wait till January and hope Mr. Trump is elected, because clearly our generals don't have a stomach for a fight. Yeah, the generals probably don't have a stomach for the type of torture that they do, because it's awful. And I know people disagree with me, but I guess I'm coming at this as a Christian, and I think, that saying, what would Jesus do? Well, who would Jesus torture? No one. And I'm not saying that we let these people, kill us, but I don't know. I can't. That type of torture is just unbelievable. I can't justify that. So anyway, Prince founded the notorious private security firm Blackwater, which rose to infamy in September 2007 after its operatives gunned down 17 Iraqi civilians, including a 9-year-old boy in Baghdad's Nisour Square. Whistleblowers also alleged that Prince encouraged an environment in which Iraqis were killed for sport. At the height of the Blackwater scandals in 2007, another prominent Trump backer, Representative Dana I can't pronounce that, sorry, praised Prince, who once worked in his congressional office. Prince, whatever that name said, is on his way to being an American hero, just like Ollie North was. Yeah. Yeah, I spent a long time looking into the Iran-Contra scandal, to the, yeah, and anyway, I need to not be getting off topic here, because it would be very easy for me to do right now. Prince has long fantasized that he is the rightful heir to the legacy of Wild Bill Donovan and his Office of Strategic Services, the precursor to the CIA after 9/11. Prince worked with the CIA on secret assassination program, in addition to offering former SEALs and other retired special operators to the State Department and other agencies for personal security. So, yeah, this is long, and we've got a long way to go. So I better get out of here and get back to this. So that's the deal there. Now, let me know how you guys feel about this whole Eric Prince thing, because I just feel very conflicted right now. And you probably are sensing that in my voice even. I just feel conflicted. I don't know what to think about Eric Prince advising the president. I don't know. So if you guys want to leave your thoughts, I would appreciate it. Now, so this was an anonymous poster, okay? They posted this to Q, and Q responds. And this is what I was talking about. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Who knows where the bodies are buried was his response to this. So is that why Eric Prince is advising him to let him know where the bodies are buried? I don't know. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Well, the ones who put them there. Now, probably, well, not probably, Eric Prince has put a good many, he's killed a good many. So I'm sure he knows where the bodies are. And then Q says, the map is in front of you. And he means the Q map. And that's the map of all his postings made into a graphic. That is referred to as the map, or the Q map. And he says, reread, expand your thinking. Purpose for time being spent here. So he's saying there's a purpose for time being spent here, and I think he's referring to both our time and his time. I don't think that this person would waste time in this forum playing a game. They obviously have information at a high level. So, which leads me to think that this is real. I firmly believe that. Now, we're going to go up to the next post, and that's on November 24th. And Q says, expand further. Make the connection. Map currently has 43 confirmed connections. Now the map he's talking about, of course, is the graphic with all his postings. And what he's saying right now is, so far with what he's posted, there's been 43 confirmed connections made, between people or companies or, whatever. So he says, important to understand, when this breaks, many won't swallow. The MSM is not trusted. You are the voice. We are here to help guide. Future proves past. And we've seen this. He's said the same thing many times, and basically that when something happens in the future, we can go back to his posts and go, oh, okay, that's what he meant. And that's happened quite a bit. So future proves past. You are the calm before and during the storm. Q. So, and basically this is just, there's really nothing much here. He's letting us know that he's already made these connections for us. There's been 43 connections made, but he wants us to expand further and make the connection. And there are a lot of connections about to be made here. When this breaks, now, if everything that we've been talking about so far broke on the news tonight, how many people do you think would actually believe it? I don't think any. Well, they might if it was on the news. I don't know. But I think that there's going to be a lot that will find it hard to swallow. And I think eventually, just like everything, this is going to all come out into the light, and we're going to know who this person was, or persons were that were posting these things. And we're going to know exactly, maybe not everything that went on behind the scenes, but we're going to know a lot. And so, yeah, the media will lie about everything. We have to give people the truth. The information provided to Anons, that's the name of people who post on 4chan, or just, they're anonymous. They're called anonymous users or whatever. The information provided to Anons will make sense in hindsight. This is why we are to reread the Q map and compare it to the daily relevant news. It is necessary for Anons to make memes that are educational, pre-storm and during, and calm during and after for the public. This is our task. And Q has asked for memes to be made several times. So, and it's amazing how far a meme can travel around the world. So, it is a very powerful thing to do, and I should perhaps make some. It wouldn't take me long even, but I haven't, so I'm guilty too. Anyway, let's go up to the next one, and now this. Oh, okay. Sorry. Here, I've made an error here. Okay, this right here. This was an anonymous user asking Trump something, and this was his response. Okay, so this was the question. Who knows where the bodies are buried? The ones who put the bodies there. Blackwater was used in a shit ton of shady ops, their word, not mine, by the U.S. government back when it was under cabal control, and as a proper PMC, they've got it all kept on the books which the POTUS books which the POTUS just got access to. So, yeah, so basically, now he's got access to all this, and he's able to see what has gone on before, because he's able to get, security clearance and see everything. And then this is what Q responded: expand further, make the connection, and when this breaks, many won't swallow. So now I don't know what this is. Okay, it's code of some sort, but I don't know, and it's I don't know. I haven't seen anybody decode it, but it's there, so you can look at it. If you see anything familiar there or think you can decode it, please do. And then the next post was on November 24th, and Q simply posted this picture. Now, interesting. There's Podesta. Bill Clinton. That is the leader of China, isn't it? I believe. I should know. I'm ashamed of myself. Now, I don't know who all these guys are back here. Now, if any of you guys know, please, put it beneath. I love this painting here. It's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, if you guys know why Q would have posted this or what he is trying to tell us here, please put it in the comments below. But for now, I'm going to move on. So that was that for that one. And now, sorry. All right. Now, the next one, November 25th. And Q says, U.S. leadership change. Saudi Arabia, leadership change. Germany, leadership change. Pakistan, leadership change. And then he said 40,000 foot. And when he says that, that's a reference to taking a view, that's the big picture view from 40,000 feet, like you're up in an airplane and you're able to see everything. That's the view. And then he starts a countdown, 8, 7, 6, 5. I do not know what the significance of that countdown is unless it's, sort of alluding to the fact that you're coming down lower. I don't know. So because Q says, okay, every now and then you have to pull out, you have to take that 40,000 foot view and then you go down, you fly at, less altitude so that you can get the details. So I don't know, but let's just take a look at these. All right. Donald J. Trump elected as 45th President of the United States, so that was the USA leadership change. This election took the cabal of bad actors by surprise. They did not ever think they would lose control of the U.S. presidency, yet they did. House of Saud under King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman executed a house cleaning that included mass arrests for corruption, netting even some members of the royal family. And then there's a reference here to Chancellor Angela Merkel and her shaky coalition. I'm not going to go out there right now because I'm just basically giving you an overview of what Q is saying here. Pakistan leadership change. Pakistan Premier Sharif resigns in July 2017, and there is an article on that. Pakistan law minister resigns November 2017. And again, I don't think we need to go out and read these actual news articles to know that that is so. Pakistan has long been regarded as Saudi Arabia's backdoor nuclear program. Look at the overview of the situation, the big picture, and that's what he's talking about, this 40,000 foot. The major countries of the world are having changes in leadership away from the old corrupt system, the cabal of bad actors set up, and towards a different direction. So what Q is telling us here is that these leadership changes are a good thing because, this cabal of bad actors, so to speak, are being put out, and the new leaders that are being installed have a different mindset. So whether that's true or not, I guess we will see. Now, this is the next, sorry, I've got to take a drink. It is so dry in here. Unbelievable. Okay. November 25th, Q posts this and have no idea. I have no idea. It's code, obviously. But what it is, I don't know. These are planes, obviously, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this is. And I don't see that anybody else knew what it was either. So maybe Q is going to explain it to us later. I don't know. But I didn't see where anybody had decoded this. If you happen to know or have a link to somebody that has decoded that, I would be very interested in it. But for now, we're going to move on. Now, November 25th, Q says, test, 4chan infiltrated. Future posts will be relayed here, Q. Now, what happened was 4chan was basically became a very unsafe place for him to post because the CIA, those people that were trying to prevent him from being able to communicate via that channel, were able to hack in and to create whatever havoc. And so he actually flipped over to 8chan. Now, that's what he's talking about here. Q was testing to see whether his trip code would translate over from 4, the political, like that's 4chan, the political forum, to 8chan. The trip code translates exactly if it is insecure using one hashtag. If it is secure, the trip code translates exactly if it is insecure using one hashtag. If it is secure using 2 hashtags, then it does not translate over exactly. Since Q's trip code is insecure, it does in fact translate over exactly. Note also that there is no space between name and the trip code. Starts with an exclamation mark on 8chan. Unable to keep control of the politically incorrect forum on 4chan, the mods and or janitors are either rogue or refusing to cooperate. Q will communicate solely on 8chan from 1125 forward. So this is the day that Q switched over to 8chan, right here. And this was posted on 8chan, and he was doing a test to see if anyone was going to pick it up and find him over there. And he let them know that 4chan was infiltrated. So on November 25th, Q writes again these codes, and I don't know. I don't know what these are, so I can't really, and nothing comes to mind either. So I don't know. But if any of you know, please put it in the comments below, because I read them. I know that many of you all read them. So yeah, I really want to know, but I don't even know if it's meant for us. I think it's probably because he communicates with other people via that channel as well. Like, it's just there's codes and things in here that are meant for other people that we are not meant to understand. Or so I would assume. Okay. November 25th, Q writes, confirm, go to Twitter, P, act small, hashtag, red1 underscore, red2 underscore, Q. Now, what he is saying is, he's saying confirm, go to Twitter, president's account, small header, also POTUS tweeted a hashtag, a small business, likely a code. Generally, the term red would indicate either a high level of preparedness. We are at condition red. Place your weapon into red status, loaded, round in the chamber, and safety on. Or a combat/emergency situation. Also a team color, red team, blue team. This is just the link to the actual post there, which doesn't show anything different than we're seeing right here. Confirm, go Twitter, president's account, small header, also post. Okay, this, I'm not sure why I put this in here twice. Brain damage? I don't know. Okay, so he was wanting people to confirm by going to the president's Twitter page, and they were to go to Twitter, and they were to look for hashtag and then small, and there was a hashtag small business there. So yeah, I don't know, but obviously that was a message he wanted to assure the people that were now reading him on 8chan that he was in fact the same Q, and that's could be why he did that. There could be other reasons. This could be for somebody, I don't know, but there you go. Now, November 25th, Q writes, flash dir, start code activated instruction, and then 4chan, 8chan. Okay, what this means is this. Flash directive, immediate flash directive, start code activated / instruction. So 4chan _ n means posting on 4chan, no. 8chan_y means posting on 8chan, yes. Confirm 8. 8b con, confirm, yes, 8. 8 key secured, code secured at 8chan. So that's what that means. I got that from someone else, and I believe that, to me, that seems like it's right. Would I bet my life on it? No, but I think that's what it means. Yeah. Okay. So all of that was getting him over to 8chan. So now we're getting up here into some interesting stuff. On November 29th, Snow White utilized /activated to silence. This was not anticipated. Control /protection lost. Routing through various networks, jumpers, randomly has created connection/security issues, working to resolve. Select people removed. Stay strong. We are winning. More to follow. Q. Now, Snow White and quantum computers messed with the connections, giving them glitches / instability. Sorry. Sorry, this is driving me crazy. Oh, okay. Never mind. 1 second. Okay. That should be instability. That's what I was trying to change, but it's not going to let me. So Snow White, which is a computer system, and quantum computers are messing with the connections, giving them glitches, instability. SW equals Snow White. QC equals quantum computers. Supercomputers employed to make it impossible for Q to communicate with us. They can shut down, take over the networks easily now at their will for EBS, and I'm not sure what that stands for. I got this from someone else, and it seemed like a very reasonable explanation. So, and it's kind of explaining what happened over at, oh, for heaven's sakes. My computer is just like has a mind of its own. All right. Okay. So, yeah, they can shut down, take over the networks easily now at their will for EBS. This was unexpected by Q Group. Speculation: Snow White system was deployed by the clowns, CIA, out of desperation. Maybe an older system that has been considered shelved or outdated and therefore not considered as an operational option by the Q Group. This shows how important Q's communication with Anons and our task are, and how panicked the clowns and network of bad actors are to go to this length to stop Q from communicating with Anons. Control and protection of 4chan's poll, politically incorrect form, was therefore lost. So that's what happened. They employed all these sophisticated computers, and it was just no longer safe for him to post. That's what happened. Now, this is interesting. November 30th. Where is Barack Obama? Beijing at that time. He was in Beijing. And what is the purpose? I would say to undermine the POTUS. Who fired North Korea when? November 28th. Reconcile. Q. Now, let's first go here. Yeah. Former U.S. President Barack Obama will return to the world stage when he meets Chinese President Xi Jinping and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a 3-day trip to Asia, his first to the region since leaving office. He is due to meet Xi in Beijing on Wednesday after beginning his trip with meetings and speaking engagements in Shanghai, his office said in a statement. Their meeting comes weeks after Xi hosted U.S. President Donald Trump during a high-profile visit to the Chinese capital. The friendship between Trump and Xi is a boon for U.S. China relations, whatever the U.S. media says. Obama looks forward to catching up with his former counterpart, Xi, as they have cultivated a close and cooperative partnership on issues such as economic development and combating climate change, the statement said. The two leaders have previously met on multiple occasions, most recently at the annual Group of 20 summit, relations between Obama and Xi were outwardly positive, but were underscored by tensions over human rights in China and Beijing's maritime claims in the South China Sea. So we'll skip down to here. What did he achieve there? Probably nothing. After meeting Xi, Obama will travel to New Delhi to meet Modi and speak at the HT Media Leadership Summit, which the Indian leader will also attend. And I'm just seeing what was, I don't see. Anyway, that just shows where he was, and what he was doing there is probably anyone's speculation. So, whoops. Now, okay. Obama is a treasonous puppet with no strings. He is looking for protection. Speculation, unofficially, to warn the Chinese and Indians regarding North Korea. Warn them of the consequences of taking down bad actor elites. Nuke strike. ICBM intercontinental ballistic missile test proves ability to carry out threat. So he could have been shopping around for protection. He could have been, who knows? He was probably, undermining the POTUS to some extent. But yeah. So did I go out here? I don't think I did. Yeah. So this is the picture that Q posted, and that was meant to be a clue as to where Obama was. So let's go back and go on. Now we're getting into some heavy stuff here. November 30th, Q writes, focus on Hussein. He's talking about Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Revelations coming very, very soon. Huma, Saudi Arabia, Hussein. Now, Huma here, he's talking about the Harvard University Muslim Association. And Saudi Arabia, through the Harvard University Muslim Association, a member there was contacted Prince Al-Walid bin Talal in Saudi Arabia, and that's who financed his education. That's who paid for Obama's education, believe it or not. So, focus on Hussein. Barack Obama's nuke deal and missing cash. Barack Obama's connections to the world's elite via Saudi Arabia. Barack Obama's missing on Twitter for weeks. Where the heck is he? Barack Obama installed in office to facilitate the Uranium One deal. providing nuclear material to North Korea via Russia. So are these some of the things he wants us to focus on? Don't know, but apparently there's some revelations coming very, very soon. Now, as the first black president of the Harvard Law Review, Obama had his pick of top law firms. He chose Miners Chicago civil rights firm, where he represented community organizers, discrimination victims, and black voters trying to force a redrawing of city ward boundaries. So here, Q has dropped the clue civil rights attorney. Well, Obama did work for a civil rights firm. And then to let us know that we're on the right track here with the right person, he puts 13th District. And Obama served as state senator for the 13th District in the state of Illinois. And DNC, he won the Democratic primary in 1996. And C note, so must be more. Yep. Yeah, this is interesting. Obama campaign paid same Clinton and DNC law firm that hired Fusion GPS. Now, let's go out here. If you remember, Fusion GPS was a company that basically they do research on people. Now, if you were going to run for office and I was going to run against you and I wanted to smear your name, I would go out and I would hire Fusion GPS and I would say, find out everything you can on them. I want every piece of dirt that you can find. And that's what they do. So they were given money through a law firm. Now, doesn't this sound familiar? Because this is the same Fusion GPS that was involved in the dossier. You know, the fake so-called dossier that was supposed to be all official but wasn't. And so it's interesting because Obama campaign paid the same, it's the same law firm that hired Fusion GPS. So it's interesting. The Obama campaign organization, Obama for America, paid nearly $1 million to the same law firm that the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee, DNC, used to funnel money to Fusion GPS, the firm that produced the Trump dossier, according to a new report. Obama for America began the payments to Perkins Coie in April 2016. The same time, the law firm hired Fusion GPS to look into ties between the Trump campaign and Russia. The Federalist Sean Davis, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Now I lost my place. Okay, this, the Federalist Sean Davis reported Sunday, this revelation could mean that President Obama and other administration officials may have, along with the Clinton campaign and the DNC, helped fund the unverified Trump dossier, which was used by the FBI to get surveillance warrant on a Trump campaign official and used as a roadmap for the FBI's investigation into any collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, which of course we know that there wasn't collusion. The Federalist reports the timing and nature of the payments to Perkins Coie by Obama's official campaign arm raised significant questions about whether OFA was funding Fusion GPS, how much Obama and his team knew about the contents and provenance of the dossier long before its contents were made public, and whether the president or his government lieutenants knowingly used a partisan political document to justify official government actions targeting the president's political opponents named in the dossier. According to the Washington Post, Fusion GPS was first retained by Perkins Coie on behalf of the Democratic National Committee, DNC, and Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in April of 2016. Federal Election Commission records for Obama for America shows that since April 2016, the organization paid over $972,000 to Perkins Coie. It's an expensive dossier, wasn't it? OFA paid nearly $800,000 to Perkins Coie in 2016 alone, according to the FEC records. The first payments were made April 25th to 26th, 2016, and classified as legal services, totaling $98,047. The second batch of payments, also classified as legal services, was dispersed to Perkins Coie on September 29th, 2016, totaling $700,000. Payment from OFA to the law firm in 2017 totaled $174,725 through August 22nd, 2017. FEC records also show that Mark Elias, the Perkins Coie lawyer who hired Fusion GPS, had also previously served as a counsel for OFA and the DNC. So, Hillary Clinton has denied knowing about the dossier until after it was published on January 10th, right? Despite her campaign and the DNC funding it through Perkins Coie since April 2016. Then DNC Chair Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz also denied knowing about it in testimony to the Senate Intelligence Committee in September. Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, also told the committee in September that he had no knowledge of payments to Fusion GPS, even though Elias sat right next to him, according to CNN. Some lawmakers did not buy those denials. I don't buy them. Do you? I definitely don't buy them. Well, I think, the only way to tell if Clinton and Podesta's and Obama's they're lying is their lips are moving. I don't know if they're even capable of telling the truth, to tell you the truth. Okay. Senator Susan Collins said Sunday on CBS's Face the Nation that members of the Clinton campaign and the DNC should re-testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee in light of the new revelations. They absolutely need to be recalled, she said. It's difficult to imagine that a campaign chairman, that the head of the DNC, would not know of an expenditure of this magnitude and significance. But perhaps there's something more going on here. But certainly it's worth additional questioning of those two witnesses, you think? House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy told Fox News Sunday he was interested in investigating the Clinton campaign and the DNC. I'm not an election law expert, but the good news is you don't have to be to understand the absurdity. That's a hard word for me to say. I don't know why. Believing you can just launder all of your campaign money by just hiring a law firm. I can't think of anything that defeats the purpose of transparency laws more than that. He added, I am interested in that, and I'm also interested in sharing some memory tricks with folks at the DNC because no one can remember who paid $10 million to a law firm to do opposition research. I find that stunning. $10 million, and no one can remember who authorized it, who approved it. So you've got two issues, a memory issue and then the lack of transparency by laundering money through a law firm. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's go back. Now, Hussein versus Hillary, Rodden Clinton versus McCain. And I think this is what Q is talking about here. Because Barack Obama had the backing of the Saudi family. They actually, Prince Walid bin Talal paid for his Harvard education and who knows what else. Hillary Rodden Clinton had the backing of the Rothschilds. And McCain had the backing of Soros. So either way, the 2012 election results were controlled by one of the three sides of the New World Order triangle. So that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it wouldn't have mattered who was voted in. It would have been the same. It would have been one of the sides of the triangle. So, interesting. Why is this relevant? I don't know. I'm not sure why it's relevant or what it is relevant, but I'm not sure what he's trying to point out precisely. Follow the money pre-president. So follow the connections pre-president. Why does Hussein travel ahead of POTUS? Why did Hussein travel behind POTUS? Well, I think he's trying to salvage globalism and the one world government for the cabal, but I also think he's maybe shopping for protection. He's in a lot of trouble. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably trying to make alliances. He's probably trying to undermine the president as well. It's probably not just one thing. So looking desperately for a new protector handler, preemptive damage control, trying to poison the well and negate whatever POTUS attempts with other world leaders. Yeah. And, okay, I wanted to make sure that we've got all this because there's a lot of information in this one post. Now, follow the money, follow the connections. Why does Hussein travel ahead of POTUS? Why did Hussein travel behind POTUS? Think Asia, think North Korea. What was told regarding North Korea during the past 8 years? Well, we were told, the American public was told, that they were not technologically advanced enough to launch a missile. That's what I remember hearing. And suddenly, they are. So what happened? Either they've had this technology all along, or they recently gained that technology. Now, we're going to get into some really interesting things here. So, we were told they're not advanced enough. What dramatic shift occurred regarding North Korea post-election of POTUS? Well, suddenly they have the capability. The public was told that North Korea was approximately a decade away from being capable of striking the U.S. As soon as Trump was elected, they suddenly had this capability. So what's up with that? They seem to have acquired both better rockets and possibly nuclear miniaturization technology. Reconcile. That's what Q is saying. Reconcile. Then he says, define hostage. Well, a hostage is a person held by one party in a conflict as pledge pending the fulfillment of an agreement. Or it can be one that is involuntarily controlled by an outside influence. But I would say that whoever is controlling North Korea is holding the world hostage to its unexpected nuclear power. Now, I have to see where I've put this. Now, okay, yeah. We'll get to that. So, define hostage. And then he says the sum of all fears. And we know that that was a movie about a missing nuke. Why are sexual harassment claims all appearing suddenly? Well, preparation for allegations that will be worse in type towards people in greater power. Part of doing things in stages. Further elimination of support within the network of bad actors, taking out both the top and some high-profile middle echelon bad actors. Targets are mostly in entertainment media. Same media that works on the agenda to destroy America and Western culture. Same media that are reflexively anti-American and extremely liberal. Same media that creates fake conspiracies where there are none and studiously obfuscate actual wrongdoing and conspiracies will show the utter and complete hypocrisy as individuals and as a group. It helps to undermine the trust in media to an even further degree than present, and its distraction from the deeper allegations. Those are possible answers for why they're all appearing suddenly. Now, what is a pill? Something repugnant or unpleasant that must be accepted or endured. When is it hard to swallow? Now, let me see. I don't need to read all this. Well, when it's big, when it's bitter, when it means that everything you have been taught is a lie, having to give up pleasant delusions is very scary. Reluctancy to face the truth or the end of something. When you don't trust the source, when you don't trust the source pill. And I think, the allusion there is to the Matrix. You take the red pill and what is it? I've forgotten now which is which. Yeah, you take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So you take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. I would say that we've all taken the red pill. And to tell you the truth, I missed my illusions. I really did. And sometimes I still do. Sometimes I still wish that I was under that spell, because I shouldn't even say that, but it's just when you really have your eyes opened, it's like in the film Matrix, and you're looking around and you're going, oh my gosh, this is it. The world is ugly. That's how it feels to wake up. It's like suddenly you see all this stuff that's been hidden from you. And I don't know. It's unpleasant, very unpleasant. So, how do you remove your enemies from positions of influence and authority? Well, you diminish their support through scandal, right? And then Q says, define stages. It's a period or step in a process, activity, or development. Define puppets, someone controlled by another. Deep state politicians, media, publishing, education, many nonprofit organizations are and foundations, are controlled. They're controlled by someone else. They're simply puppets, and they're controlled by a handler. Define puppet handlers. The person or persons who hold the strings and cause the puppet to move or act. A puppet never acts on its own and always has a handler who is in charge. Define proxy war. Define proxy war. Define proxy war. Expand your thinking. Now, we are going to... Proxy war is a conflict between two states or non-state actors where neither entity directly engages the others. While this can encompass a breadth of armed confrontation, its core definition hinges on two separate powers utilizing external strife to somehow attack the interests or territorial holdings of the other. This frequently involves both countries fighting their opponent's allies or assisting their allies in fighting their opponent. So, that is what a proxy war is. And we're going to get into this a little bit more because there's more posts coming up that touch on some of this in more depth. Now, why is Justice stalling release of sea-level info? Now, when he's saying sea-level, he's talking about classified. This is classified information. Well, possibly because it would tip off some bad actors in our government. Some of them are on the requesting committee, and outside it also could be to maintain the element of surprise. Probably don't want to give evidence to those who are about to be indicted. And then he says, think. Does POTUS control all matters classified? Well, in a sense, yes, he does. Because yes, he could order the Department of Justice to hand the documents to the committee, but he's not doing that. From Congressional Research Service, as Commander-in-Chief, the President has the authority to establish the standards for access to classified national security information. This authority is typically exercised through the issuance of executive orders. Now, Q says, think. Have faith. These people are losers. Q. Now, I think I have some more information on this, but I think it's here. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I'm getting into this too soon because there's more posts on this ahead, but this is going to blow your mind. The CIA control of North Korea, SpaceX providing technology. So SpaceX is providing the technology. They're a private entity, not government, so they avoid conflict or suspicion. The cabal, via CIA, control North Korea, so they also control the nukes. USA and world are being held hostage. North Korea is the insurance policy against the takedown of the cabal and network of bad actors. Okay, so, and here we have silence in Iran, North Korea nuclear ties. So, go out there. I like this because, Obama's book, The Audacity of Hope, whoever wrote this put the audacity of silence on possible Iran-North Korea nuclear ties. It is now more than 8 weeks since Senator Ted Cruz sent a letter to 3 senior officials of the Obama administration detailing his concerns that North Korea and Iran might be working together in developing nuclear missiles. In particular, Cruz had a question for Director of National Intelligence James Clapper. Referring to the period since the Iran nuclear deal took effect on January 16, Cruz asked, has the U.S. intelligence community observed any possible nuclear collaboration between Iran and North Korea? That's one of the huge questions looming behind the Iran nuclear deal, officially titled the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which President Obama has been urging President-elect Donald Trump to preserve. It's a question that deserves an immediate answer. If there has been any such nuclear teamwork between Tehran and rogue nuclear testing Pyongyang, that would be a violation by Iran that should immediately blow up the Iran deal, which the Obama White House currently touts on its website as the historic deal that will prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. Questions about possible Iran-North Korea teamwork on nuclear weapons are well-founded, as Cruz explains in his 7-page letter referencing numerous open-source reports, including 2 of my own. North Korea and Iran have been strategic allies since just after Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. They have a long history of weapons deals in which the usual arrangement has been that North Korea works on the weapons, oil-rich Iran pays the bills, and technicians shuttle between both countries. While there's no official U.S. confirmation that this Iran-North Korea partnership extends to nuclear collaboration, there's plenty of official U.S. documentation that it includes cooperation on developing ballistic missiles. That has long raised questions about whether the 2 countries are also in nuclear cahoots, because ballistic missiles are basically cost-effective only as vehicles for delivering nuclear warheads. And though it could be mere coincidence, it is striking that during the past year in which Iran, to multi-billion-dollar emolument, has officially relinquished any interest in nuclear weapons, cash-hungry North Korea has been busier. North Korea has carried out 2 nuclear tests this year alone in January and September, bringing its total number of nuclear tests to 5 since 2006, 4 of them during Obama's presidency. Over many years, North Korea and Iran have both carried out numerous ballistic missile tests, including multiple tests by both countries since the Iran nuclear deal took effect this January. That raises the question of why Iran, having promised not to make nuclear weapons, continues to pour resources into testing ballistic missiles. If not for nuclear weapons, then for what? One obvious question is whether North Korea's nuclear program might be secretly doubling as a nuclear backstop for Iran. Yeah. So, interesting. Now, the current POTUS, Trump, is taking a hard line against North Korea, threatening its neighbors and U.S. allies like Japan, increase in sanctions, show of military force in the area, carrier groups in the area, so forth. There's rapid North Korea technological development. SpaceX and North Korea are, North Korea has SpaceX technology. Possibility, Saudi Arabia, Al-Walid, funds Barack Hussein Obama. Obama helps arm plus fund North Korea through Uranium One and Iran deal. Is it possible Al-Walid also helped fund North Korea? Well, I think that it's entirely possible. I really do. So, demonstrate ability for nuke strike. They have had this ability since 2009, since Barack Obama gave technology to North Korea through back channels. No need to demonstrate ability until they lost control, of the presidency. Insurance policy for elite. Obama had a very light touch with North Korea. They acquired miniaturization and rapid tech development during his presidency. Trump is taking an opposite approach, has met with neighboring countries and allies as well as Russia to create a bloc of opposition and containment, as well as bring financial pain to North Korea. Elite families now control private nuclear arsenal or more advanced weaponry. North Korea, under the control of the elite, CIA, etc., will be used in an attempt to start World War III. Start a military / nuclear exchange between major world powers. Billions of people die, reducing population to easily controlled number. Elite hide out in bunkers during exchange of nukes, waiting for the fallout to clear. Elite emerge from hiding, offering aid to the survivors, playing the role of saviors while taking control of entire Earth through foundation of New World Order. I'm seeing this now. This possibility that was the plan all along, is to goad the North Koreans into attacking the United States with a nuke. I know that sounds out there. It sounds really out there, but I don't think it is. And here are Barack Obama's elite connections via Saudi Arabia. Barack Obama was installed in office to facilitate the Uranium One deal, nuclear material to North Korea via Russia, Barack Obama traveling to Asia. Q says, think North Korea. CIA control of North Korea, rapid North Korea tech development. SpaceX is a private entity, not governed. Barack Obama nuke deal, missing cash. Uranium One deal, missing uranium. POTUS flyover of North Korea. Barack Obama missing on Twitter for weeks. Barack Obama fleeing to elite safe haven to escape accountability. Elite families control nuclear arsenal. Hostage the world. Sum of all fears. Threat of World War III by an elite cabal that is evil and now in control of advanced weaponry, including nukes. Speculation, North Korea is a proxy for the war between the deep state and the current U.S. administration. Interesting. I had not thought of that, but I believe it's so. North Korea is a proxy for the war between the deep state and the current U.S. administration. A proxy war is a conflict instigated by opposing powers who do not fight against each other directly. Instead, they use third parties and do the fighting for them. Opposing powers are usually core countries who have conflicting ideologies and interests with each other. However, a direct, large-scale war between them would cause enormous damage to all belligerent powers. Therefore, they'd rather conduct proxy wars in developing countries in order to avoid loss and achieve some certain interests at the same time. Third parties can be local governments built or supported by opposing powers or armed forces, mercenaries, and terrorist groups who could strike an opponent without leading to full-scale war. Speculation is that key Democrats have turned. They don't want the word out. McCain just agreed to tax cuts as an indicator. McCain's submission is a giant tell. So, has he been singing? Chances are that he probably has. Now, I think I'm going to leave it there for this video because there's a lot of stuff coming up, and there's no way I'm going to be able to fit it all on this. This would end up being, 2-3 hours. So I'm going to break it there, and we will pick up with the post. The next post will be November 30th. Okay. In And actually, I wonder if I should... no, I think I'm going to break it there. It's going to be too long. Well, no, actually, I'm going to continue on with this so that we can put all this North Korea nuke stuff together. Otherwise, if somebody comes in on the next video and we start with this, they're not going to know the post that went before unless they're listening to these in succession, which many people do. But Q is asking us on November 30th, what if North Korea had miniature nuke payload delivery in 2004? Now, the very fact that he's asking this, or he's showing us this, means that they did. And they did. What if North Korea had intercontinental ballistic missile capability since 2009? Well, they do, and they've had it since 2009. What if, and remember those pictures that I showed? I think I showed them on a video, the pictures of taken in the North Korea, and they had like Commodore 64s and stuff. I think that was all staged to make us think that they're so backward that, you know, that there's no way that they have that capability, but they really do. And we helped them. Well, we didn't, but what if the previous test that failed were staged? And that's what Q is suggesting here, is that these previous tests that failed were staged. Why would this be relevant? Well, I think it's very relevant, because if they were staged, why? Why do they want us to think that they don't have the capability if they do? I think that's very relevant. Who is involved and why? Biggest cover-up in our history. Uranium 1 to Canada, to European Union, to Asia, North Korea, Iran deal, Russian reset, Q. Now, I think, hang on. I thought I had this information, and it turns out I don't. So I'm going to have to, I'm missing some information here that I had. So we're going to break there, and I will talk about this again in the next video before we move on. So thank you so much for listening, and it's 9:02 here, and 3 hours away from the new year. Now, I am really hoping that the new year brings us peace and prosperity, and I hope that for you all. So I will talk to you later, and thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.